Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Uncivil Law. I'm your host, Uncivil Law, as always. And joined by me is none other than DUI guy Larry Foreman himself. How you doing, Larry?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm in reasonably positive spirits. This trial is coming to an end, my friend. Hopefully, and we won't have a part 3. I can't deal with
Oh,
part 3.
tell me about it.
The state's case came to a bit of the case in general, I guess, came to a somewhat slightly abrupt conclusion, as despite, much talk about a rebuttal case, none materialized. Today we had the charging conference, which was relatively short because it was mostly duplicative of what they had done last time. I'm under the understanding that the defense that's asking for lesser included, if I heard correctly, which
hmm
surprises me. I don't understand that at all. I don't understand for the life of me why the defense would want lesser included on count 2. So maybe you can explain that to me because I don't get it. And also, we can you can just tell me other thoughts and how I'm wrong about everything.
No, you're not wrong. Okay, first of all, full disclosure, I didn't watch the charging hearing. I just heard about it. I read about it. It's what people told me. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I don't really need to watch it. I think I kind of understand it from secondhand accounts because it's not, like you said, it's not complicated. It's not like testimony, that you actually have to hear, understand what is being said. This is kind of like, oh, okay, it's standard stuff. In the criminal defense world, I don't know how much experience you have with like jury instructions, Kurt, because I tweeted this. I've had cases, and this is extremely common, where like my client is charged with like 3 different counts. They have a DUI, they have a reckless driving, they have another something stupid like an open container. And the prosecution, the morning of, would just move the court, say, Your Honor, we move to drop the other 2, just focus on the DUI. All or
Sure.
nothing,
Okay.
right? When you have like a good fact, good case, but it could go the other way and the jury could split the baby. Smart prosecutors who don't care about justice and just want a conviction, what they'll do is they'll dismiss the um, other charges and they'll just focus on the DUI. This is extremely common. And same thing here. The defense wants to give the jury the option, which I think splitting the DUI from I've been saying this for the longest time. You got to split the DUI from the murder charge, because if the jury, I think the reason the jury had so much trouble, if you don't subscribe to the planted juror theory, which unfortunately I do, but that's another story. But let's pretend for a second we have just 12 completely, innocent, untainted, whatever, men and women.
Mm-hmm.
And it's possible that we do this time. I mean, they're young, Kurt. They are young. Like the if you take them all and you take the average, you take all their ages and you take the average, I'd say no more than 31. There's no way. There are tons of like kids over there in their 20s, like early 20s and mid 20s. And
Who let the youngins on the jury?
well, I think they don't know anything about this case because they live on TikTok, you know,
This
and
is the fact.
it's possible that this is kind of like an accidental, they found them. They found the ones with no fucking clue what's going on about this case. But anyway, so the defense, see, the prosecution doesn't want lesser included. They want all or nothing, which is actually kind of stupid because Brennan's case is so weak. They usually opt out of lesser includeds when you have an extremely strong case and you're just like, look, I want the whole bank or bust. I don't want, your little change purse. I want I want life imprisonment. You know what I mean? As the
Yeah.
prosecutor. But for some reason, Brennan is going the other direction because, well, he's going in that direction, but it's forcing him in the opposite direction because his case sucks. And by going for all or nothing, actually he's shooting himself in the foot. But the defense, they have to do their due diligence. And I think, if again, I didn't watch it, so maybe I'm wrong about this, but as I understand it, the way that it works, and the way it will work in this case, is the jury should look at it. They should convict her of a DUI. because she's 100% guilty of a DUI. If you really want to fucking get technical, I don't care.
There is no
Let's do it.
DUI manslaughter. There's no naked DUI charge. It's murder, manslaughter with some variants, and leaving the scene of an accident. The DUI is in the context of a DUI manslaughter. It's not
Exactly.
It's not a straight
And that's
DUI
what I'm
charge.
saying. It needs to be split. And I think that's what the defense was arguing for.
Oh, is that what they were trying to do? Oh, okay.
I am 87% certain because I did watch that portion of it. Melanie Little, actually, somebody super chatted her or something, brought it to her attention, and she went back. And that's actually, I caught that one little segment. It was Yannetti up there, and Yannetti was sick because Jackson was preparing his closing back at the headquarters.
See, I had a different understanding. The way I understood it, because they started with well, I have this jury form for count 2 because of the problems we had last time was the defense. I have these count 2, and then he almost said it as a throwaway, like, well, there are no we're not presenting any lesser included, so we wouldn't need the jury form for the defense because it presumes there's lesser includes, which were that's the way I understood it, that they weren't seeking any sub counts of count 2. And that defense wants sub counts of count 2. I didn't understand that split. So if that's what was happening, then that was not clear to me. So, all right.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, and this is just one lawyer's opinion. At the end of the day, there may be other opinions of other people. I'm sure Trigos is going to have his 2 cents that he's going to post. You have yours, I have mine. At the end of the day, here's what it boils down to. I think this is uncontroverted, what I'm about to say. Brennan's case is extremely weak. He has not presented his case to get a conviction beyond a reasonable doubt. I mean, if anything, when Rentschler was up there, and I haven't even done Rentschler yet, he's on my to-do list. I've done everybody else, but Rentschler's my last one because he was yesterday. But anyway, I realized in the one clip I did see of Rentschler that somebody posted, Brennan all but admitted, he's like, well, Welcher couldn't reach a conclusion because of insufficient evidence. How the hell are you reaching conclusions, you butt muncher? Who are you, Rentschler? Kind of thing. And Rentschler's like, you're right. There isn't enough evidence. Like, are you stupid? You literally just admitted the defense's theory of the case. You monkey, you moron, you dunce, you idiot. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Brennan. You're really helping the defense. Somebody even tweeted, I think, there was like, I really like the new addition to Karen Reed's defense team, Hank Brennan. It was very apt. So again, but at this point, it's like, this whole trial was unraveled by 2 witnesses. Isn't that like sad? Wolf and Rentschler just completely disassembled the entire case. It's really sad and pathetic for Brennan, and it's amazing for Karen. So this is the uncontroverted part, and now here's possibly something someone like yourself could argue with, and that is, again, if you can split the DUI from the manslaughter charges, like I said, let him convict her of the DUI. Who gives a shit? Let him convict her of something stupid and then acquit on the manslaughter and the leaving the scene and the murder or whatever, and whatever, and call it a day. I mean, that's like the best case scenario for the defense, short of a triple not guilty, in my humble opinion. So if there's going to be some juror that is going to be adamant, like, we've got to give her something, we can't just triple not guilty of her. I mean, this is ridiculous. The government is pursuing these charges. I love the government. I believe the government. They wouldn't just do this just for the sake of doing this. They must have something. We got to give her something. Okay, Husky, sit down. How about we just give her a DUI and I'll go home? Good. Sign here. We got 12. All right. See ya. Bye. Like, that would be a perfect world. But if I'll have to see the jury instructions tomorrow in their final form in order to be able to give you a much better idea and understanding of how this is actually going to be structured and how the jury is likely to vote. But until I see it, like, lay eyes on it, unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot, like I said, probably in great part because I haven't seen the thing today. But it was short, I understand. I think you said it.
It was short. Yeah, it was pretty short.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. There didn't seem to be any discussion relating to the partial or complete verdict issue. The judge simply noted that she was affirmed. So I guess she's just giving literally the same instructions she gave last time. So I guess that, I mean, we're not trying to fix that in any way. So, or have any issues relating to it, which seems surprising. I thought there'd be some discussion. I thought the defense would be like screaming one way or the other, but that was weird to me.
No, I mean, look, at the end of the day, they've been through this before. This is the second run through the gauntlet. It should have never happened. Somebody made a very interesting comment in one of my videos yesterday. I read it this morning. They said the punishment for Karen is to just go through the process itself. It's
Definitely part of
not,
it.
yeah, it's almost like they're trying to like drain her finances more than anything. And hopefully she runs out of money and can't afford Jackson anymore. And then they can crucify her. But I was like, damn, that is a dark, brutal, but almost like believable theory.
I think she
And
ran out of money long ago. I think that they're doing it for free. I can't imagine that there's any hope of recovery of any legal fees at this point.
no, she has a lot of support. Her friends in Fidelity, where she used to work before all this went down, I understand they're helping her out. Plus, she's got the all the donations and listen, it's not much, but it's better than zero. And especially with adding of Alessi on this latest one, and can you imagine paying 4 lawyers to be in court every day from
That's
like
yep.
8:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m.?
That's like
Like
$1,200.
$6 million, I think, is her like bill. And I don't know at which juncture. Somebody said that number, and I was like, "Holy shit!" But I'm like, that makes sense
Now
actually.
these are actually really high class lawyers, so it's probably more like $4,000 for them all to be there, something like
Per
that.
day,
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
yeah, that's a lot of money.
So,
That's a lot of money. So yeah, every day is $25,000. Great,
yeah.
plus expenses. Yeah.
It's
So
I'm excited to finally seeing this case to come to a head. I'll be honest with you,
me too. I'm tired. I'm tired, Larry.
it's been dreadful.
Yeah. So I had just released a video a little while ago where I basically tried to lay down like why I am projecting like a 20% chance of conviction. I don't know if you think about things in those terms, but do you have any sort of assessment of what do you? I mean, you were in the room, so you have additional information I don't have, so that's also valuable. So, based on
Mm.
your observations, does that give you any insight on what do you think the probabilities here of a conviction are?
So here's my assessment. If you, since you're asking, there is a in my book 100% chance it's going to be a hung jury. There's an 80% chance it'll be a triple not guilty, and a 0% chance it'll be a triple guilty. And I can give my justification
So
for
that's
whichever one you want.
180%.
Well, essentially, yeah. I'm not breaking it down into like the chances of this happening is pretty much like 100%. And then the probability of triple not guilty is still high, but I don't have full
Well,
confidence in it.
I wasn't saying triple guilty necessarily. I was just saying guilty on count one or count two. Basically, was what I was assessing.
So that's a
Oh
hung jury.
no, well, if
What
they,
you're saying is a hung jury because Bev will never accept it in piecemeal.
oh no, oh
Unless
no,
you're saying
if
like
she comes
not
back with
guilty,
the
guilty, not guilty. If they have like I mean, obviously that's possible.
if they actually try to return a verdict and one of those verdicts is guilty, I bet your bottom dollar she'll accept it.
She has no choice. If they unanimously agree on all 3 charges, she has no
Yes.
choice. She must accept it.
Yeah,
Yes.
but like if they came back like hung on one and three, but guilty on some version of two, I bet you she accepts it.
No, she can't. She has already she has a proven track record. And actually, Jackson and I had a brief conversation in the elevator on my way out of the courtroom. And I was talking to Karen's mom, and he just walked in and he was like, "Wait, what are you guys talking about?" And I was like, "Oh, I was just saying that short of a triple guilty or a triple not guilty or any combination thereof, Bev is not going to accept a verdict that anything short of one of those 2 verdicts or guilty, not guilty, guilty, like anything like that." And he just looked at me. He was like, "Oh yeah, absolutely, I agree with you." I was like, "Oh, okay, well,
Okay then.
I'm onto something." So he already knows. And here's the other thing, Kurt. I mean, think about it. Last year, when um what's it called? When she was ruling, like, so she Tui Rodriguez them once, she Tui Rodriguez them twice. Then she did it, I think, a third time, if memory serves. And then she's like, okay, fourth time I'm not going to do. Or she did it twice for sure. I just don't remember if there was a third or not.
She gave like a
And
soft instruction, and then she gave the Tui Rodriguez charge.
yes, yes, exactly. That's exactly how it happened. You're right. So after the second charge, when they came back and they're still like, Your Honor, this is not going to happen. Jackson never got a chance to be like, yo, hold on, I have something for you. Like, she was like, oh, anyway, you guys are dismissed. Okay, see you guys later. Bye bye. Later. And it's like, wait a second, hold on. We would like to make a motion. We would like to say something, and she just did not give them an opportunity to do anything. And I think Jackson is going to be much faster on the trigger
I'm
this
sure.
time around.
I'm sure he's primed.
Oh, I mean, come on. Bev all but set up the dominoes for this fucking shit to happen, for Jackson to be like, Your Honor, no. Hold on, I have something to say. Like, he's not going to let her go that easy. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it's gonna play out.
Okay. So you think there's an 80% chance that they acquit, and presumably a 20% chance of a hung jury then? Triple acquittal 80% and 20% to be hung?
Okay, so if you want me to do like actual math, I would say there's an 80% chance of a hung jury, because they're not going to be able to decide on something, and that's going
Great.
to hang the entire case.
Great.
20% chance of a triple not guilty, not guilty, not guilty on all three, and 0% chance of a conviction on all three. However, if you want me to leave a window in there, I can maybe, like, let's make it 19% chance will be triple not guilty, and 1% chance it'll be like a soup of like a guilty, not guilty, guilty. Unless, again, once I see the jury instructions tomorrow, my calculus is bound to change, especially if the judge will allow a splitting of the deal, which she never will. She never will, because it's easy now. The jury be like, yeah, she was drunk, guilty, and acquit on everything else. She didn't kill him. Bye. Bev doesn't want that. She wants a murder conviction. She wants a straw person, a straw woman, and that's Karen.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, yeah. And the way she treats the jury, though, the way that infantilizing tone, it's like, I want to punch her in the face. It's like, can you talk down to me any harder, man? That's
Oh,
got to rub.
God.
That's got to rub some people the wrong way. She treats them like kindergartners.
When you see their faces, I don't feel like they respect her. When she
Yeah.
speaks to them, and they're just, I mean, they're jurors, obviously. They're supposed to be like emotionless and whatever. But there's one juror, and my God, I love her so much. She's the one we locked eyes in court, where we had the same. It was what the fuck is Brennan? What is he asking? What is this? What is going on? And we both just, like, as we're scanning the room, and we kind of looked at each other, and we both had the exact same face. And it was like incredible. I'm just like, okay, so at least one of them gets it. This is not beyond the pale. They're not totally like disconnected from reality. People forget jurors are people. People are jurors.
They certainly
Just
are.
because they don't have access to the internet to read about this case doesn't mean that they don't have any common sense whatsoever to begin with. I mean, that's ridiculous to think. But sometimes you forget. You're like, I hope these jurors know. I hope these jurors understand. I'm like, trust me, they do. Trust me, they do. I've seen them.
Well, yeah. Well, if they're that understanding, then I'm wondering why you are so pilled that they won't be able to just like acquit across the board. I mean, if they're that fed up and all the rest of it, why they just, you think, I guess just because
all it
one
takes is
holdout's going to
one.
be a dick.
All it takes is one, Kurt.
That's
exactly.
Fair. That's fair. 12 is
And
12 is hard.
I can't discount the fact that there is one juror on there that is, has some money in their pocket from somebody they shouldn't have money from.
Really?
It's very possible. It's Massachusetts, man. I'm starting to learn a thing or two about that state. Having visited there multiple times, talked to people, listened to stories of various calibers from various people, having been mistreated. I'm boots on the ground for 3 seconds. 3 fucking seconds, Kurt. I'm already accosted by an MSP trooper.
Excellent.
Get out of the way.
Excellent. They saw you coming a
They're-
mile away.
They put me in my place so fast. They're like, don't forget who's the boss here, Husky. I'm like, I got it. You can chill now.
Lol, that's funny. Disturbing and funny.
Yeah.
I guess it's nice to know, or disturbing to know, that there's shit everywhere. You know, it's like, I come from the South and we get shit, but there's shit in the Northeast. There's shit everywhere. That's nice to know, I guess. Something about the human condition makes me feel better, I guess. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so what is it like talking to Jackson and all those people in person? Because I haven't had the pleasure. Also, by the way, can you get me an interview? I'm happy to not talk about the case. If they, I will talk. I'm serious. It will still be an interesting interview. We don't have to talk about the case. We can talk about their careers and how they think about trials generally. It'll still be an interesting interview. So if they're up, I'm available.
Let me see what I can do.
Help me get that dynamite traffic that I need in my life, Larry.
Let me see what I can do.
Okay, you're the man.
What was your question before that? What was it like hanging out with them?
What are they like?
To find yourself in David Yanetti's office, or one of his 3 offices. And let me just paint the picture.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big, like, giant wall.
Apparently,
like
Turtle Boy's not guilty. Yay!
Oh, not guilty for Turtle Boy. All right.
Yay. That was that. I mean, I didn't really tune into the details of that case, but it did seem like some bullshit. I'm sorry, you were talking about being in his office while I interrupted you. Apologize.
No worries, man. It actually gave me an opportunity to tweet that Turtle Boy has been found not guilty. Big W. Holy shit. Not surprising at all. Not surprising. I mean, did he cross the line as a journalist? Just to talk about this real quick. I think so. Just a little bit. He's very unconventional. He's like, so there's this pizza place where they all gather. You know what? I'm hungry. Let me go to the place. You're like innocently pretending like I'm just gonna eat there. Like, come on, you know exactly what you're doing, man. You're not fooling anyone. But it doesn't matter. He's still acting in the capacity of a journalist. And like I said, did he cross the line maybe just a little bit? Absolutely. Is he guilty of witness intimidation? Fuck out of here. No, there's no way in hell. They're more intimidating him than he is of them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. I talked to him. He was an interesting character.
Yeah. But anyway, I saw him when I was in Massachusetts too. We only had time for a quick hello. But anyway, so let me paint the picture. So there is a wall, there's a giant window, and by the window stands Robert Alessi eating his rice and chicken. And next to him is Damon. Damon is the civil attorney for Karen. He's in the court every day. And then to the left, and they're both standing. And then I'm standing on the opposite side. And then David walks in with his, he was like eating orange chicken or something like that. It looked Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting down in his chair, in his office chair, and I'm sipping my Coke. And then in walks in Alan Jackson, and Liza Little sits down. And it's me, and it's the 6 of us in a room, and we're just schmoozing and talking. And I'll never forget there was a moment where they look at me because I say something, and I'm just like, oh yeah, and they all just kind of stop on a dime, and they're like, yeah, tell us, what do you think, Larry? And they were sincere about it. They were not just like, let's just give this man his 15 minutes of fame or whatever, 15 seconds of fame. No, they were legitimately interested in my opinion because I said something that piqued their interest, and I told them about keeping Higgins, because they were talking about Higgins and Proctor and like what to do with them, and I'm like, look, here's my opinion. Keep him a faceless character, easier to attack, blah blah blah. And then Damon just kind of like interjects, and he goes, or not interjects, but after I'm done speaking, he's like, yeah, I completely agree, and he just follows through, and I'm just like, oh my god, I just contributed to the defense team. It was really sexy. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of those things that like I will be able to die happy now.
Yeah. Is Alessi planning on killing anybody? Because when he put on those black gloves, I was like, I want to ask Alessi, what is your preferred kind of garrote? Are you a piano wire guy, or are you going in a different direction? That's what I want to ask him.
I know. I saw that video and I was like, why is he wearing them?
Yeah.
Like, why isn't he taking them off? But anyway, no,
I
and
used the
let me
string
just,
from a weed whacker. Oh, okay.
something that I said during one of my lives, I think your audience will appreciate this, when I was in Massachusetts. Yes, Lucky did testify, chat. In both trials.
He looked a lot different, man. I don't know what about it was. Maybe it was the no glasses thing, but I like really didn't recognize him on the stand. He seemed so different somehow. Was it just me?
No, no, he was wearing a suit this time, I think is what you're noticing. No glasses and a suit. Last time he wore plain
Seemed
clothes, I think, and
he
he had
seemed he
glasses on or
seemed he
something.
seemed like he had a little harsher edge. Like he didn't seem quite as amenable. He didn't seem quite as like friendly. He seemed like a little battle worn, like a little scarred,
Well, I think
a little
he is.
sharper.
Because he's probably been under the microscope for the last year since he first testified. Because, I'm sure people are split on his opinion or whatever the hell. And he's a very crucial, critical witness. And he's probably been harassed. I mean, you can only imagine the harassment he had to endure.
Yeah, but he said he wasn't intimidated. He said he wasn't like. I like that when he said wasn't true that you're. He actually said he wasn't harassed. So it's like, okay, well, there you go.
I believe him. I believe he's a really honest guy. I don't think there's any nefarious, or as what's her face would say, nefarious, Jennifer
Nefarious.
McCabe,
Yeah.
nefarious going on here, Mr. Jackson. Will you just leave me alone? Anyway, no, I don't think he's a good dude. But I was just gonna say, I can tell you, your audience will appreciate this. When I was in the courtroom and Jackson is up there and the jury is just eating it up, eating it up, eating it up. And then when it's, character change, when Brennan gets up there, all of a sudden it's like the whole room just kind of like, oh God, here we go. And I can't say, I mean, obviously I'm biased because I don't like the man. I think he is a poison to society and he's useless as a human being.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, this is not, I'm an empath. I can feel the energy in a room. And I felt like this whole mood shift, and the jury was just went from like writing stuff furiously to just being like, yeah, now we have to listen to him. And there was a moment when he had like almost this gotcha moment, and the jurors just writing stuff. I forget what it was. They're just writing, 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 and then he gets to the meat, like the final point, and they're just like, "That's it. That's that's your
Yeah.
that's
Sometimes.
your
Yeah.
big
Sometimes.
that's your big gotcha moment." Oh, um, thanks for nothing, and they just put their notebooks down. It was hilarious.
It is pretty funny. You're giving me hope in this jury. You're giving me hope that they will see the
I'm
truth of it
telling
all.
you. I'm telling you. I know it's like, just trust me, bro. Like this is what. Just trust me. Like this is what they're. It's hard, Like I've no. There's no reason for anybody to believe one way or the other. I'm just another voice out in the
Chat has
multitude in the
chat has a
crowd.
good chat has a good question. Are you saying they didn't go in for the ham sandwich thing?
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't there for that. And
Oh, okay.
that's Rentschler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I haven't. That's the one video I've yet to record.
Yeah. Yeah. This is yeah, lots of now it's interesting. What one of the things that I found interesting, and I haven't verified this to be true. During jury watch, I'm planning on checking it out to verify it. But people said that Judge Bev has been overruled like 6 times or something. But it seems like when she's been overruled in the past, it's been for being too pro defense and ruling for the defense. So, do
Yeah,
you have
there's
any
a
information relating to that? And
he is notorious for actually being defense friendly, believe it or not.
yeah, that's
And
yeah. It's,
this is
I can only assume that she's been whacked one too many times and got the memo to be a defense to be a dick apparently because the Court of Appeals wants her to be a
no,
dick.
no,
I
no,
guess.
no, 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 no. Morrissey got her judgeship, so she owes Morrissey. Morrissey put the the warden for governor, or not governor, mayor, whatever the hell his name is, Deval, whatever the fuck his name is. So the devil is the one who appointed her. What a fitting name, devil. But it's like Deval. Devil appointed Bev, but who put the word in uh, Devil's ear? It was Morrissey. And then Morrissey is the DA, so she owes this one to, because Morrissey owes it to Brian Albert and his criminal syndicate. And so she owes Morrissey, and now you get the chain.
That's a very disheartening analysis. Just a good old boys club
Politics.
kind of
The
analysis.
good old boys
Yeah.
club. Exactly. I mean, have you ever been to Dedham? Dedham is a shithole. No offense for anybody who lives there. It's a relatively small, for Massachusetts, it's considered small. I mean, from Louisville, you might consider it a bigger city, I guess, maybe. But it's tiny. It's really small. Like they have like 2 hotels for the entire city. It's quite, yeah.
Okay. How are other people in the? Did you have an opportunity to talk to anyone else in the courtroom, like other people were there, or do any sort of man on the street discussions? How's the? How are people generally talking about this or reacting to it?
So people can go to my channel. I have 2 lives that I have done. The first one was right before court for about an hour and a half. I interviewed Paul Murphy, who is a former Canton police sergeant,
Mm-hmm.
and he's retired now. But he, like Lank and all of them, Lank, he used to work with Lank back when Lank was just fresh out of the academy. And he is embarrassed by like what these people are doing. And he came on, he gave me an interview. You can check it out on my channel. For about half an hour I spoke with him. I also spoke with another retired, I think, cop. Thinks I don't remember. And then of course I talked to the crowd. I took like a bunch of pictures. I spoke with the interns a little bit because they have 2 interns that are in the court every day. They're the 2 ladies seated on the left next to Karen's parents. I talked to Karen's dad. He said, "Oh my God," he came up to me and he was like, "Larry, I love your show. You are so hilarious. I enjoy your I never miss an episode." And I'm like, Karen's dad just said that. Holy shit.
You're a popular man.
Apparently, I don't know why. And then I spoke to her mom quite extensively, and I also gave her hope. I was like, listen, far be it from me. I'm not an expert. I'm not like a professional jury reader or anything like that. But with 50 jury trials under my belt, it's not my first rodeo. And I've kind of learned a few things, and I kind of shared my impressions with her. And she's like, okay, I appreciate you. And she's very friendly. Her mom is like the sweetest. Sorry, Peter Murphy. I said Paul Murphy. I do apologize. Charlie Murphy. Yeah, no, not that one. Um, Seriously though, great. I mean, they're all such a great bunch of people. Like they're just so cool. Like they're banded together. They have this unity about them, and it's magical. It's magnificent. I've never seen people united. Well, shouldn't say never. The Johnny Depp trial, 99-1 ratio. The ones support Johnny Depp versus the ones who are supporting Amber Heard. And of course, I would be seated next to the one fucking Amber Heard supporter in the courtroom, which was amazing because she was wearing one of those Hillary Clinton "I'm with her"
Mm-hmm.
shirts.
Mm-hmm.
I just started schmoozing with, because she has nowhere to go. She chose to sit next to me. Like that's a you problem, lady. Um, I'm gonna talk your ear off whenever we are on break. And I found out her dad is like a lawyer in Minnesota or some shit, and she just started telling me like all this stuff, and because she didn't know who I was at the time. And then when she learned, she just stopped talking to me. She's like, I can't talk to you anymore. I'm not allowed. My conscience won't allow it anymore. You support the devil, Johnny. Oh God, it was amazing.
I support the law, bitch.
Exactly. Oh, those were the days. That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it's interesting, and we've got other trials like Cobra coming up and stuff. So, and
Mm.
so maybe we'll have those kinds of days again. I don't know. So, are you tuning
Yeah.
in for jury watch at all? You gonna be watching with us in the
Oh,
background? Are you gonna
yeah.
have me on in the background in your office, just playing like the radio or something, or what?
Probably. I'm gonna be watching from the sidelines. I have plans of my own. I just can't disclose them. I don't want to. I'm keeping them secret.
Are you using Signal for those secrets?
I'm using. I have on the roof of my house. I have a campfire, and I use smoke signals to communicate. So
Hmm. Okay, old
so
school.
when you say signal, I understand that that's what you mean.
Sure, let's go with that.
What are your impressions, man? Enough. You've been like interviewing me. This is. I was hoping to be more a conversation. I'm more interested to like
Yeah, people.
also.
Yeah, I mean, my impression is I did a video on this earlier today. I'm estimating like a 20% chance to convict. That's obviously without any knowledge of the jury. That's just sort of in the or any sort of calculation relating to the demographics of the jury. So that's just a sort of like 12 random people sort of calculation. But I think that Brennan really played the idea of the admission slash confession to a T. I think he played it brilliantly, and the defense didn't and neither side brought in a lot of the evidence relating to the corruption. They didn't bring in Higgins. They brought in his messages through what's his name, Buchanan. They
Mhm.
brought in Proctor, but his text messages, but I didn't really think they landed. Albert obviously wasn't part of this case. Higgins, again, they brought in his text messages, but I don't think they really do any much. Defense didn't really go with the corruption. They didn't really hammer the idea of the pieces. I don't think they even mentioned like the chief of police dropping by, and finding all those pieces at a different time. They didn't mention the Sally Port video of being flipped. I don't think they even mentioned it. Um, so there's a lot of information that is not present in this case that was present in the last case that
Which is not uncommon, as
created a
I'm
lot
sure
more
you're aware.
problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure because they filtered out all the bad stuff and are where they
So
are.
do you
So
think from everything that you know in trial one, did you watch the entirety of trial one?
I did. I watched it cover to cover.
Okay, so did I. So we can talk about this. Question for you, Kurt.
Hmm.
Do you feel from everything that you know in trial one, and I don't mean like, oh, I wish that yes, they need this. I'm saying absolutely critical, essential for acquittal fact that we learned in trial one that is absent from trial two. Do you have any?
Let me think.
Because I can't think of anything. I tried, and I'll go first because while you're thinking, I thought about this, and I'm just like, is there? I mean, of course, Higgins destroying his cell phone at a dumpster in a military base. Sure, it's a fantastic fact, but is it crucial for not guilty? No. Chloe contradicting the fact that when Jen McCabe rushed into the house, Brian, 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 whatever, yelling, and Chloe was nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, Brian Albert actually testified in trial one that she was in the room with him, sleeping by the closet, and she wasn't disturbed by all the noise outside, which again is complete bullshit, but whatever. We'll just pretend like we agree. It's still that's a complete and utter contradiction. But does it absolutely positively is it necessary for acquittal? Also, no. So like I couldn't come up with anything, and I was wondering if you got something
Um, if
like the X-rays.
I
You
think
know.
with I think in trial one they did talk about the idea of the pieces being there at various times, and like and also with the chief of police like dropping by like randomly and finding pieces. So I think that element might have not been really there this time, but that's all I can think of off the top of my head.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's like there's nothing so critical that they can't survive without it that they would have called somebody by then. Like I remember there was one doctor. I don't remember who it was. It was I think it was a prosecution doctor who was talking about like whatever, and then Eliza Little gets up there and she's like, "Did you see any broken bones? No. Did you see any bruising? No. Any fractures? No. No this? No. 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 No." And I'm like, okay, so we didn't have that. I mean, that's pretty big, but we got it through Dr. Russell, I think, the bruising and the broken bones. So the defense called their own. It's like anything that hurt them. Trooper Paul was just so absurd. So they replaced him. They replaced him with a fucking Welcher,
Yep.
Which is
Yep.
very fitting the name. It's like he's not Mr. Welcher or Dr. Welcher. He's just a Welcher. I think it kind of sums it up. He's just not a scientist. He lives in La La Land. He lives in fantasy world where you just paint people the color blue and that means conviction.
Which incidentally, and he said during testimony, and Lowley I think said it today as well, and I'm pretty sure Brennan said it maybe yesterday. Like that test was not meant to replicate the conditions of the evening in question, right? They said that. So I want to know how that evidence is legally relevant, because if it's not even trying to be a simulation of the events, how is it relevant? Why is it evidence? I don't understand.
Because Kurt, come on, where have you been the last 15 months?
I was with my rules was where I've been. I was with
the
my
rules. Don't
rules.
apply. The rules don't apply in this case. They don't apply.
I was with my rules where for something to be relevant, it has to make a fact in dispute more or less likely. If this
What is
test,
that?
if
Never
this test,
heard of it.
if this test is in no sense tied to the event in question, how does it make any event more or less likely? So how is it relevant? So forget like, how are we getting to relevance, let alone anything else? I was with my rules of evidence, Larry. That's where I was. I was
Stop
also looking at
using
Dobear Fry
logic.
Lanigan and having some problems over there I'd like to talk to you about. I need a Dobear Lanigan Fry support group over here. Holy shit.
Stop using rules. They're not going to work here. This is a farce.
It wouldn't be so bad if she just picked a position. Just pick one. Just pick a position. Is no expert good enough for you? No expert can meet my stringent Dobear, Fry, Lanigan, whatever we're calling it, bullshit analysis because I'm just that judge. Or am I somehow I'm allowing the dog behaviorist, the dog trainer to testify about dog bites because I don't know what scientific reliable. Pick a position. Just pick one of them. Christ.
Yeah.
We never did hear from that dog behavior guy, so I guess that was a whole pile of nothing that amounted to nothing in the end.
I guess so.
That's disappointing. Maybe even they realized that that was such bullshit that they can't even really do it. Maybe they had concerns with that being potential and appeals. David Hill, this is so unfair, David. Dave Hill says, if the rule that followed has led you to this, of what use was the rule? Fuck you, Dave. It's quoting No Country for Old Men at me. I was under the impression that we lived in society with rules and stuff, and judges who would try to apply those rules, as best as they could, and, stuff and things. But apparently, not so much. We're just living in a land of corruption with solo cups and leaf blowers and missing evidence logs and evidence floating around in trunks and bullshit, crazy legal decisions that I can no longer justify from first principles and just sadness. I really was frustrated at when the judge made the ruling. I think one of the moments that broke me was when the judge made the ruling relating to the dog trainer that he could testify on the Dobear thing, and it was just one paragraph that just basically laid out the 4 factors, and it had nothing. It had no analysis. And then my chat said, well, does this mean that X can testify as to Y? And I'm like, I have no idea, Larry, because she won't tell me what the rule is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the rule is. So how am I supposed to lawyer, Larry, when she won't tell me what the rule is? How am I supposed to do this?
You make it up. You make it up and you pretend, and then you hope for the best and just roll the dice. And
I mean, that
You know?
does happen sometimes in law, but I'm not supposed to have to make it up when I'm dealing with things that have been settled law for 50 or like 500 years, as the case may be. Like,
Yeah.
maybe the defense gets to put on a defense sometimes.
I'm
not sure. I'm not sure.
What's
I'm not sure.
what's
I'm not sure.
that?
I'm not sure when courts decided that the defendant got to put on a defense, but it's been a hot minute since they made that decision.
I think it goes back to the 14th century, maybe
Yeah,
like before the Salem witch trials is last I checked.
Yeah. So that there's that issue. Yeah. Brennan definitely tried my patience, and by the end, I was like, I definitely lost whatever sanity I had relating to him. I wish Jackson would settle down a little sometimes. He sometimes is a little quick to ramp up, like 10. Sometimes I wish he'd just settle down a little bit. But he doesn't have other gears. That's a critique.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I noticed that that the judge didn't seem to be as pissy when Little was speaking. So apparently, Little was supposed to be the one trying the case. Apparently, that was the answer.
No. The reason she doesn't bark at Little as much as she does the others is, first of all, Little is a very matter of factly and practical. She was like the Alessi Jr. before Alessi was on there. She's the one handling the experts. She's the one doing all the technical science. When I was there last year for the first time, when I met everybody, that was when I gave them the idea about the DUI, using like Ringer's lactate. I didn't call it that. They expanded on it. They got the good stuff this year. I don't typically do it because most clients, unfortunately, can't afford to go into that direction, and it's a very unique defense. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Stressors causing BAC levels to spike. That's essentially it in one sentence. But I told them about the serum and whole blood testing, which was used last year and this year. So anyway, in a nutshell, Liza is great, but she doesn't have that spunk, that panache, that je ne sais quoi that Jackson and Yannetti have, and Alessi. So that's why I think Bev treats her a little bit differently, because she's not threatening, and she's not. If you meet her in person, she's really sweet. She's really nice, quiet. She hangs back. She doesn't like stick out. She's just kind of like, I'm here, whatever, just here to do a job. She had these orange nails, which I thought was so like interesting. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's like it was really, really bright orange. Her nail color was, and I'm just like, oh wow, I was not expecting that. So anyway, but yeah, no, saying she should have done the whole trial is a misnomer. I think it's cute. It's a cute idea. I see where they're coming from, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are my thoughts. And then also trying to figure out what wristwatches everyone's wearing. That was also a game we were trying to play. So that was fun.
Well, I understand Bev was talking into her phone one time.
Yeah, that seemed to be like she was talking into her watch. Yeah. That seemed to be a thing that was happening. So.
And again, I mean,
to whom?
Who's she going to be talking? Like, come on, she may have been making a reminder for herself. I hate to be defending this woman, but I'm also not going to give in to stupid clickbait. Like, oh my God, there's enough corruption in this case to keep everybody fed. You don't need to make stuff up. You know what I mean? Like when Brennan shook his head after he was asking Arca, Dr. Wolf on voir dire, like, how did you communicate with the defense and blah, blah, blah. And then he shook his head at Bev. I mean, come on, that was the most obvious, ex parte nonverbal communication I've ever seen.
That was pretty bad.
Is the defense gonna make a big deal out of it? Hell no. They don't give a shit. They got this case, not in the bag, but like they're focusing on it. They're doing things. But to like start stretching concepts to try and make them fit just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, let's see if there's any super chats that came in and read some along the way. Robert McNamara became an uncivilian. By the way, incidentally, I am 410 subscribers away from 150,000. So if you wouldn't mind hitting
Let's
the
get Kurt to
subscribe button,
150K.
if we could get to 150K by the end of the trial, that would be awesome. So we're only 410 away. So
By the end of the trial, by the end of the stream, Kurt, by the end of the stream, you're gonna get to 150K.
I would like that to be true, but I'm not sure we're gonna get 400 people to hit the like button, or the subscribe button, but we'll see. Fallen Hero gifted a gift membership. Bluefish sent 20 gift memberships. Robert McNamara gifted a gift membership. Jenny Emerald for €5.99 said Karen's punishment for the OUI is the Kafka-esque bureaucratic nightmare she's been living. She'll never serve time inside, but she still served time. Facts.
Ooh, that's
J.E.
deep.
Walsh 7 for $4.99 said to Lucky, he is our hero. He's the best witness. He's the greatest witness. Forget Arca. Arca scrubs. Lucky's where it's at. I love you, Lucky, and I love Frankentruck. You guys are great. Alleged Drake for $5 says, would it be possible to get a question answered by you regarding testimony? Sure. J.E. Walsh 7 for $4.99 said Jury Faith Fund, and A.G. Red Shocks became a member for 24 months. So all that good stuff. Cool. All right.
Anything for me? Like not money wise, I mean questions or anything.
I don't know. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions for Larry while we're here? Let's see what people have questions for Larry. Because I've run out of things to talk about. $1.99 for Kelly Dever is her name. Yes, I guess. What do we think about Kelly? I think Kelly is getting Kelly is getting a promotion. She's getting accommodation. I think she has a long, bright career ahead of her, is what I think.
I agree.
She understood the assignment.
She understood the assignment. Covered my friends' asses.
Yeah, really. Killamela for 0513, $2 says much love, Larry and F. Ritter. Yeah.
Who the hell is Ritter?
Ryder?
Oh, God.
R-E-I-T-E-R?
Yeah, we're not talking about that. He's not worth 2 seconds of your time.
They want to know if you agree with me on the Hank's opening. So my view is my view is that while his stage presence leaves much to be desired, from a structural standpoint, I really very much liked it. I thought that my view of what opening is to provide a framework that you're going to help, drive the evidence through. It's just to present the framework of the story, build a little curiosity, drop in a couple evidentiary points along the way for some structure. I really, really like the way Brennan structured his opening. I like that sort of cold open, act zero with, the alarm ringing, getting to the scene, getting some energy, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and then laying things out. I really liked it structurally. So what did you think of the opening, I guess, from Hank?
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Okay. Larry didn't hear it, so he has no opinion.
I don't care. Sorry. I don't care about Hank Brennan's opening.
Try to find things to comment about where we can.
No. I love it. I'm just letting you know I can't.
Karen Reed will get her Lexus back. Yeah, I guess if Karen Reed is acquitted, she will get her Lexus back in the same exact condition as it is. So she can look forward to a damaged Lexus. Although maybe she can pick up one from Aperture. Although
I think what she wants to do is replace that taillight.
Yeah.
Before she takes it anywhere, and then have like one of her, like her mom or her dad or something, trade it in for something else. That truck is cursed. That SUV is cursed.
Magical Menagerie for $5 said, Larry, did you see Billy Bush interviewed that Canton retired police officer because of you?
Who's Billy Bush?
I don't know. I guess
somebody interviewed them after me. Fantastic. They're getting exposure. That's great.
Amelia LT said, what kind of BS do you think Bev has? I think a BS in BS. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alleged Drake $5 said, did any of the testimony on the Lexus did you hear the part where Aperture Science? Did you hear the part where Aperture Science said it's possible for the Lexus to wind up in space?
What?
Did you not hear that part of their testimony? When it was Dr. Rentschler when he was saying anything is possible, it's possible.
I have not heard Rentschler's testimony yet. That's the only one I haven't done yet.
From Aperture? Or no, what's his name? Doctor, what's his name?
I didn't do their direct either. I'm very selective about what I listen to.
He said
so
anything's possible.
I don't have like.
He said anything's possible. He says it's possible the Lexus could have wound up in space.
All right.
So we have a whole thing about that with our merch store because of that. We have a theory, Larry, that explains so many of the things the Commonwealth, the theory the Commonwealth didn't think of. Have you heard of my black hole theory? Have you heard this one? Larry? Larry has given up hope.
Wait, did I lose you?
No, I'm still here. Have you heard of my black hole theory?
Oh, I said, yeah, go ahead. Let's hear it.
Okay.
I've not heard it.
Okay. No, yeah. So this is the theory that explains so many things about what was going on that night. So what happened, you see, was there was an unexpected dark matter black hole that formed in Canton on the evening in question. Okay. It wasn't that the SUV projected John O'Keefe through the air, you see. It was that an unexpected dark matter black hole formed on the lawn of 34 Fairview, and the gravity attracted John O'Keefe onto the lawn, you see. It wasn't that the tail light was out and it was a white light. That wasn't it at all. It was that an unexpected black hole formed exactly in between the tail light and the camera and caused the light to appear to be white due to Doppler shift. It isn't that the time log between the Lexus and like the phone is out of sync. It's actually not that the times are out of sync. It's that an unexpected black hole occurred and the gravity warped the time-space continuum such that the clocks were literally ticking at different rates. The unexpected black hole explains many things. It also explains how the Lexus could wind up in space because of the, gravity pulling it into space. So the unexpected black hole solves many problems.
Understood.
Yeah. So that's the one that they did not think of. I'm available for testimony.
I'm going to say the defense should have hired you.
I'm at least as qualified as some of the experts they've put on the stand. I actually have a BS degree. I actually do have one. I actually two, technically. Yeah. So, I have two BS degrees. So, hey, that's got to be good. I do not, however, have an associate's degree. I'm thinking about getting one.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think I've been sucked into this black hole of yours because I'm just sitting here like, oh, interesting.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and the we've also explained the logs on the phone relating to the call logs. You see, that wasn't really call logs. You see, what happened was solar radiation caused the bits to flip on the memory of the phone, and just caused
my
the flip.
God, I knew it. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it was the interference from the sun.
If the defense, if the prosecution had actually presented that theory from day one, I might have actually bought it because I'd be like, I've never heard of this before. Like, maybe it's possible. It doesn't make any sense. But it is
100% possible on an individual bit level. It's a little less possible when we're trying to get all those bits to randomly flip in just such a way to create logs. But what the hell? Let's go for broke.
Well, wait, hold on. What is the likelihood? Okay. What is the likelihood and the probability of the possibility that all these people in this one isolated period of time from midnight to 7 a.m. just start butt dialing each other through these solar flares? I mean, it's entirely plausible. There's a 0.0000000000001% chance, and I think it happened.
Yeah, I think it's worse than that, but yeah, something like that. Yeah. Let's see how large was the log again? Wasn't it what was the number? How many megabits was the log again?
I don't remember.
It was 30 megabits or something, so it'd be 2 to the 30 millionth It'd be 1 over 2 to the 30 millionth. Yeah, that's not really great odds.
Not
Yeah.
really.
No. Ask Larry to talk about the police sirens and coughing, and also the sighing while you're at it. You can talk about that. That'd be great.
Sorry, which what's the question? Talk
The random police sirens and coughing and sighing and all that bullshit.
Sirens. Okay, so the sirens. I think we heard at least one instance in when I was there. You can't hear the sighs as much because the sighs are into the microphone, which is attached to the TV in the courtroom. But when she sighs from afar, you can't hear it as well. And what was the third one?
Oh, just like her, like constant, like sighing and coughing and like all that
Oh,
bullshit.
the coughing. I was so focused on the testimony. Oh wait, no, hold on a second. There was no coughing. I would have heard it because here's why. I was there for Crash Daddy, and Crash Daddy is a defense witness. They only cough when it's their witnesses saying things like, so I was, I heard nothing. So
Yeah, 100%.
they're cues, and Wolf doesn't need any cues because he's an honest man.
Ms. Otter said the channel's Hot Mics with Billy Bush. Okay.
Channel's Hot Mics.
Noted.
Okay. Oh, okay. He's got a channel. Well, good for him. That's awesome. Did he get the guy like on his channel or something?
I don't know.
No, good for them. Good. It's like nobody is like. This is all about sharing, man. Sharing is caring. I'm glad that somebody put the spotlight. I'm glad that someone put the spotlight on him. So it wasn't me. Who cares? I got the exclusive from the courthouse. You can't beat that. Like, go interview him 100 times over. Let the public hear what he has to say. Where's the problem?
I need to do even more interviews. That's what I need to do. I need to find more people to do interviews with.
Yeah.
I like the interviews. They're good stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get Jen McCabe on.
Oh God,
I'll tell her that maybe she could smile a little more. Women like it when you say that kind of thing, right? You could smile a little bit more.
You can give her $5 million, and she will never come on your show. That I can promise you. Cash. Be like, cash. I'll give it to you right now. Money transfer to your account. She'll tell you to go fuck yourself. I believe it.
If she told me to go fuck myself on air, that counts though. So I'm just saying.
Get a free sentence from her.
Killa Milov 0513 for $5 says, does a case like this make you lose hope in our justice system? A little bit.
Did you ever see the clip where what's the name of Proctor's sister? God, not Catherine. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Help me out.
Help us out. What Proctor's sister? What's her name? Catherine, Katie.
I have no idea. Proctor's sister is fine.
K.
This discussion.
Anyway, so chat will help us out. They'll catch up in a second to the live feed. Someone will tell us. There was this interview that Proctor's sister did with I don't know, one of the news networks, and one of the Courtney. Thank you, Courtney Proctor. I told you it was a cunt name. Courtney Proctor. She is giving the interview, and the interviewer. If you've never seen this clip, Kurt, oh my God. She's sitting there, and the interviewer goes, "Do you have any doubt in your mind about Proctor's involvement, like negative involvement and planting of evidence? Do you have any doubt in your mind that he did this?" And she's like, "Oh, absolutely no doubt in my mind, none at all whatsoever." She misunderstood the question, I think. She was so nervous.
Yeah.
She accidentally admitted, like, "Oh, no, I have no doubt. He absolutely," like, she agreed with the Karen Reed's defense team for a second.
Nice.
Obviously, she didn't mean to.
Nice.
She didn't mean to. It was so funny when she said that. It's like she accidentally admitted the truth, like accidentally.
That's the only way these people ever do, Larry.
Yeah. Well, listen, man. I just realized the time. It's already 5, and I'm actually getting a call.
You've given me plenty of your time. So thank you very
Appreciate it, man.
much. Get me that interview with the defense team. Do you want to plug your channel?
I will. Let me. Okay, sure. Why not? Real quick. Attorney Larry Foreman on YouTube at the DUI Guy Plus. I'll always be known as the DUI Guy, but I've rebranded. I have a video that I premiered today, Kurt. I did a dry run attempt at the closing myself this
Excellent.
morning. So it's on my channel. Go check it out. It's awesome. I love it. Obviously, I recorded it, but I had so much fun recording it. And of course, I missed a couple of things. I'm not going to get it all. I mean, especially with no prep, just no
I'll
notes. I
watch
just
it.
literally,
I will watch it during jury watch, and we'll critique it and see how you did compared to the real thing. So we'll do a little comparison. That'll be good.
please do. Um, anyway, so and that was actually an idea from a viewer. But anyway, and I have like a bunch of videos that I released, and I have more wolf videos. The one that I released yesterday, the wolf video from yesterday, titled "Inside the Courtroom" or something like that. This is how the jury reacted to Dr. Wolf. I changed the title a couple times, but anyway, in my head, I don't think I made it. But anyway, um, yeah, I mean, it is garnering an insane amount of views because, well, I'm giving something unique. So I have 3 more wolf videos premiering over the next maybe 3-4 days.
Nice.
And then, of course, we're going to be, I mean, I'm not going to do verdict watch. I have things to do, but I will be kind of paying attention from the sidelines. I'm sure there's going to be jury questions. So that's going to be interesting. And of course, verdict. I'll be doing like everybody else. I'll be doing a video about the verdict, maybe even live if I catch it.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for dropping by, Larry, and you're welcome anytime, and have a good one, sir.
You got it, man. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you, and bye, chat.
All right, bye-bye. Well, that was fun and exciting and all those good things. So I had a good time with Larry. I hope you did too. Very casual, interesting little hangout stream, which is good. We're on tomorrow, baby. We're on tomorrow. We will see if this thing is going to come to an end. An hour 15 per side, so that's 2.5 hours for closing arguments. Then, of course, the jury charge, which probably is about 45 minutes, give or take, which I think they're not doing till after lunch for some reason. And then the jury is allowed to stay until 5:30, I think she said. So the jury will have this in hand for about 4 hours, something like that, if I understood correctly. And, we'll see how that's going to go. And we'll also, of course, review the jury forms, assuming that they're available on Twitter, and whether or not this DUI charge gets added. Because is the defense trying to add? Is that what they're trying to do? Is the defense trying to add a naked DUI charge? Is that what they're trying to do? That seems like an odd move to me. I don't really understand that. I mean, the idea, I guess, is it gives them something, anything to find a guilty for, but I don't know that I necessarily want to put DUI in the jury's. Is the defense seriously trying to add a naked DUI charge at this point? Is that really what they're trying to do? I don't know about that one. Yeah, that seems like an odd proposition. Yeah, because like we're trying to understand exactly what the defense was asking today, because it's confusing, right? We're confused about exactly what the defense was asking, because the defense came forward with, "I have these new exciting jury forms for count 2." Then the judge said, "We could go back and listen to it again. I mean, let's go back and listen to it again and see if we can understand what the hell they were talking about." Okay, so we're just going to go back to the end of today and we're going to listen to it again and see if we can figure out what the fuck is going on, because I did not understand, but we're going to give it another go and see if I can figure out what the hell they're doing. Let's see. What are we doing? We are going to, okay, today we're going to the court TV. Court TV for you and me to provide all the information for all the exciting stuff. Let's see if we can figure out What the hell is going on? All right. All right, so let's see.
All to this issue. The significance of the
We'll start right at 9, maybe a short lunch. You're free to stay in the building and keep your voice up, please.
Yes, very briefly. I'm not going to get into a belabor the point as far as the back and forth about conduct of counsel. During the heat of trial, during the heat of the extemporaneous offers by the Commonwealth to offer a stipulation as to the truth as far as the evidence is concerned that were and to accept instruction at the time that is all that is required, is more than sufficient, and it doesn't need.
The goal would be to hear the charge. So
Where is it?
I'm sure we can make accommodations for that. But call the jurors to ask them if they can get here.
Essentially rejected by the defense. Things can happen. Mistakes can be recognized, acknowledged, and accepted.
Maybe it was earlier. Where's this discussion?
So someone send an email to the clerk's office today letting us know if.
Suggest respectfully a procedure to the court. I have spoken with the Commonwealth about what the topic is. It's obviously not new to anyone, but perhaps to expedite this matter, if I might suggest to Your Honor to avoid a more lengthier argument, it might even truncate it down to 30 seconds. If we could hear from the Commonwealth on what we have requested, and the topic specifically is entitled Defendant's Motion for Curative Instruction regarding.
No, it's not the curative instruction. Where the hell is this discussion? I'm going to have to do a search of the transcript and see if I can figure it out because I'm not finding it readily. Let's see. Where is this discussion in the record? Do a search of the transcript if I can find it that way. All right. No. 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 Where is it? Okay, here it is. I think. All right. Yep. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. I think here it is. All right. This, I think, is it. Come on.
I'll hear you.
I'm actually Yannetti.
Yannetti, jeez, I'm sorry.
So, Your Honor, you'll recall we had some spirited argument both before and after trial regarding this particular issue. And our concern, Your Honor, was that it's obviously a confusing indictment because of the number of lesser includeds and the number of elements that are different for each lesser included. And we were uncomfortable with, there being one option for not guilty at the top of the form, and then multiple options for multiple different types of guilty verdicts throughout the remainder of the form. So what we have done is to fashion this in a way where the jury, pursuant to the court's instructions, would first decide the offense as charged, and if it's a guilty verdict,
Madam Clerk?
the analysis is over. If it's a not guilty verdict, they go into the next lesser included offense, and again, same analysis applies. If it's not guilty, they then go to the next. until they finally reached the final verdict, which the lessest, or the least, I should say, of the lesser included offenses is simple operating under the influence, where they have an option for not guilty or guilty. We've also changed a little bit of the wording, you'll see, which I think makes it clearer and less confusing. When the jury is given options for theories of guilt on at least, looks like three of the charges, including the main charge, because there's this issue of either under the influence or .08 or greater. The way it originally read, Your Honor, manslaughter while operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol was repeated twice. It was repeated once where there's an option for guilty, and then it was repeated again with both of the other options. We think that this is simpler, it's cleaner, it's clearer, and we believe that this verdict slip is the most appropriate one.
Mr. Lally?
Your Honor, as the court is probably well aware, the Commonwealth is not requesting any lesser included, and I certainly understand that if the evidence supports it and the defense requests it, that the court must give it.
Yeah, it sounds like it sounds like he's saying the prosecution is not requesting any lesser includeds. Right? That's what it sounds like he's saying.
Your Honor, as the court is probably well aware, the Commonwealth is not requesting any lesser included, and I certainly understand that if the evidence supports it and the defense requests it, that the court must give it. Having said that, the verdict slip that was used in this matter last year, the Commonwealth will submit is more than sufficient and adapted.
Yeah. So the first thing is it sounds like that the prosecution just wants a straight manslaughter with no lesser includeds, and it's the defense who wants to bring lesser includeds in. They want some clarity relating to how it's phrased, but they want the lesser includeds. I don't understand that, but okay, yeah.
Defendant's request. The only other thing I would bring to the court's attention, I don't know if Your Honor is aware, there was a case recently, while this case was going on, tried before Judge Judicial, in which he had similar issues and had, I believe, used at least part of the verdict slip from the first trial, in this case, as sort of a template for the lesser included that he instructed and the verdict slip that they utilized in that case. I don't have a copy of it on me, but I can certainly get the court a copy with it. Looking at it, copy of the docket, but that may be somewhat helpful if the court is thinking of that.
Okay, was that on a murder case?
It was not, but it had to do with a felony motor vehicle homicide.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
Mr. Turk. Mr. Turk.
Mr. Yannetti, I don't believe I'm going to give this, but I'll take a closer look at it.
Well, we appreciate that. Judge Lau is an excellent judge. We think that this verdict slip it provides the most clarity for the jury. That's why we're
Okay, and that's where I think we disagree. So I will take a closer look at that. And so has it been filed officially and docketed?
I just handed it, I believe.
All right, so Madam Clerk, you have a copy up there?
The proposed, I think this is the only copy.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, okay.
Do you need an extra copy, please?
Sure.
So if it's docketed, can we pull it from the docket? And if so, how do we do that? Or maybe it's on X. Does anyone have a copy of this on X by any chance? All right. Let's see, where are we? But I don't understand why the defense would want the lesser included. I don't get it. This will allow me to search the docket, but in terms of actually getting things from the docket, this is going to let me. A copy of whatever they filed today. A copy of the thing they filed today with respect to jury instructions form, whatever. The thing that they were just talking about, the thing they just mentioned just now, the thing that they filed. He tweeted it. Let me take a look at Twitter. He tweeted Bilal. Okay. He gives somewhere the jury to go. Yeah, that's kind of a problem, though, that it gives the jury somewhere to go. It increases the outs and increases the probability of a DUI verdict, or apologize, of a compromise verdict. Yeah, Aiden Kearney looking good in a suit there, looking good in suit and tie, if I don't mind. Looking very pleased with himself, as he should be. Yeah. Lets everyone win. I'm not sure how much of a win it is if you're spending a couple years in prison. No one really liked my tweet that I made earlier today about the 20% chance thing. That's disappointing. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I don't know why the defense is asking for lesser includeds, and I don't think they're trying to add a naked DUI charge. I don't think that's what they're trying to do. But I don't know why they would like raise multiple issues and stuff like that. And want any charge to save face? Probably. But like, if you just need a charge to like give them something to compromise on, you already have that in count 3. Like the leaving the scene of the accident. If you need like some sort of low level bullshit, to give the jury a low level bullshit option, you kind of already have that. I'm not sure you're getting anything by giving them alternate ways to get there in manslaughter. Yeah, maybe they're under consideration. I don't know. We'll see if we can find them tomorrow, I guess, and discuss it then. We'll discuss it tomorrow, but we'll see. Oh, thank you for 3,500 upload. Congratulations. That's nice. All right. There was no collision. Yeah, you don't have to convince me. The case isn't recent. It doesn't matter how recent it is or not. I mean, it's whatever it is. All right, guys, I guess I'm going to sign off tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow. They're starting at what time are they starting tomorrow? They want to start at 9 sharp, right? We'll be on because I'll be up at 7:45, so we'll be here for them starting on time. Is that recent in legal terms? Depends what we're measuring against, to be honest. Yeah, when you talk about recent in legal terms, that's interesting because what qualifies as recent certainly can depend on what your frame of reference of consideration, right? And it's what is recent and what's not recent, right? Yeah, decisions from 10 years ago could be recent depending on what you're talking about. Yeah. Am I doing anything fun for today? Not really. Trying to figure out what a lessee's workout plan is. I don't know. You can't find them? Yeah, it's not. It can't be found then. That's fine. It can't be found right now. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll try to figure out what's going on during Verdict Watch. Have a good one. Cheers for now. Where is my end stream button? Cheers. Bye.